guys, it's your girl D. So, a lot of you guys know me as somebody who is outgoing, adventurous, somebody that enjoys life, um, whimsy, a little bit eccentric. I like to be weird sometimes. As far as my actions and like the way that I think outside the box a bit. Um, but what I want to do is distinguish a little bit. So, many of you know me from Good Vibes Get Motivated. Some of you know me from Trailblaze Nutrition. A lot of you guys know me from my brick and mortar that I had with my partner, Angelica, um, which is now mobile, 100% mobile. Um, all the good vibes, you know that. And some of you know me as a mechanical engineer, as a PR and media production person, as a go getter, a straight up hustler, somebody who likes to help other people, somebody who likes to make sure that things go the way that they should and they're rightfully in their order, because a lot of people in the world suffer and they suffer for no purpose at all. Um, so, a little bit about me, guys. I come from the hood, as most people like to say, or try not to say. And it's interesting because a lot of people don't know that fact about me, right? They don't know where I come from, they don't know my background. I try not to get into that. I know the people that are really close to me know that I've been writing a book for a couple of years and going through life and their challenges. Sometimes you go through like those dark paths and you relive them, and it's all about the shadow work, as my pal over there, PLA, likes to tell me. And we got to work in our shadow work and do all of those type of things as well. So I've been working on that for a few years, and it takes some time because you go back into those dark moments in time where you have lived, and it's many many lives ago, but at the same time it's still like fresh in your mind. And it's kind of like the way, like I always say, the one thing about me is I can't live without music, and there's a reason for that. It's nostalgic. So every time I listen to a song, it takes me back to the past. Every time I listen to, something comes on, it could be anything. It could be like No Doubt, or it could be like Otis Redding, or it could be that song Dancing in the Moonlight, which always makes me think of my sister Bubble, right? Because I know one time we went to like a wedding or something like that, and we she was going through a moment, and I just remember going, just dance, man, just dance. Forget about everything else in the world. Live in the moment and think about right now. Forget everything else, right? So we just started dancing in the middle of the street, and it was that song that was playing like in the background, Dancing in the Moonlight, and I was just like, oh my god, there's a full moon. And we had just finished coming from one of my friend's wedding. I believe it was her wedding, like her wedding anniversary party. So we just started dancing, and it was like us dancing in the middle of the street as like, a little bit crazy, a little bit wild. And I'm like that person, like the one that's contagious, and I bring that like adventure out of people, and I bring those little moments out of people, and they're in there, but sometimes people need to like set it up for you so that you can like light yourself on fire. um but I'm a health nut, and I love, everything food, because my father was a chef. My mom baked, and she also painted. And she did all those type of things, so I got the best of both worlds when it comes to that, because we're creatives. um but my father, he was a chef for years. Years he was a chef, and he did different types of cuisines. And he's what I like to call a true chef, because he didn't cook recipes, you know? He cooked with love, and he cooked with intention, and he had the passion, like, I'm gonna, like, make this, and you're gonna love it, and it's gonna bring you back, just like music, to that nostalgic point in time when you first had this, and it'll take you right back to that point, right? So here's what I like to do. I like to take a lot of the stuff from my culture. I'm Colombian. A lot of stuff from the culture of other people, and make it healthy. My sister, Bubble, she loves sweets. Loves sweets. Huge sweets person. I'm not a sweets person. I was traumatized when I was 5 by my uncle. So not a sweets person. I love savory. But she's a sweets person. And for people like her, for people that love the sweet, that they need that like extra little kick that hits the spot, I like to recreate things. And I like to make things that are healthy and have health alternatives. And as such, I created a line called Ignite Abundance. And I make protein crispies, and I make protein cupcakes, and I make protein loaves, and protein tres leches, and protein bites. And, that comes from from that side of that creativeness, the one that says, hey, you like this? I can make it better. I can make it healthier so that it's guilt free, so that it has like that little, je ne sais quoi, right? So, I like to have like those type of things, those type of intentions. And, it's just like a little bit about me. I have a mechanical engineering background. I have done literally everything under the book. I've worked since I was 10 years old. I had a hair salon. I did hair. I did like ADP. I ran companies. I did production. I did advertising. I did marketing. I've done human resources. The list goes on and on and on. And it's like insane when you really think about it, because you look at me and you're like, oh, you're young, and I am young. But I was like, go, 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 go. The goal was to retire at 35, and that's, that was my goal, and that's what I was set out to do. So, there's a lot of different things that happened from then until now, and, I'll tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later on. But I figured I'd drop this on you and, send it out there for the person that does need to hear it, and, just be you. Be your authentic self. Take it or leave it. That's like, my motto. One of the most important things that I like to tell people, especially people that are younger, is your opinion of me, it's none of my business. And it's true. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and they may have an opinion of you based on the information that they know. But half the time, people don't even know you. So I figured maybe it's time that you guys get to know me a little bit more. And maybe it's time that I knock down a wall or two to let people get in, to let people know me. So, hi, it's me, your girl D. And I'm a person too. So, tell me who you are. And I'll see when I drop the next one of these guys. Because there's a lot about me that you don't know. And it's inspirational. And it was a reminder to me when somebody told me today and yesterday, you inspire me. So hopefully this inspires you. And I'll talk to you soon. Later.